Hello friends, welcome to bisptrainings.com. My name is Sumit and I'm a subject matter expert in Salesforce. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the Salesforce advanced development, and the topic is that how are we going to integrate Salesforce with .NET using SOAP API. So as you know that integration is getting very popular with Salesforce, and we would like to integrate ASP.NET with Salesforce so that we can create a web application to store, to record the new contacts or new leads, and to capture new leads or contact directly from the customer and store them into an object. So there are a couple of things which we would be requiring for integration, and the very first thing is we'll be requiring WSDL file for that. So let's begin. How can we perform integration within Salesforce? So for integrating Salesforce with by using SOAP API, we will be requiring WSDL file or enterprise WSDL for integration. So for this, click on setup. So let's have a look how can we capture the API. So click on setup. In quick search, mention API, or you can directly click on develop an API. So click on develop API. Here I've got enterprise WSDL, so I will be requiring this. So I right click on this and say save link as, and I save this as enterprise WSDL. So I give a name enterprise dot WSDL and in double quotes, so that it would be stored as enterprise WSDL for me. So that's the enterprise WSDL I would be going to use. This is one way. Another way is we can open it, click on generate, and you can use this URL as well for referring to this particular application, or this XML code. We can save this XML code. We can save this XML code in .xml format. So I can save this as an enterprise WSDL in XML format. So all the three ways are fine. You can choose any one of them. So I will be going with the first way. I have already downloaded the enterprise WSDL. Now the next step is we'll be going to create a .NET application. So I launch Visual Studio for same and click on file, new project. And I click on ASP.NET empty web application, and we can give any name. So let's say I'll give a name as capture lead. Click on OK. So it will launch a project for us, and the very first thing we'll be doing is we'll be going to add a service reference for that SOAP. So right click, add service reference. Here click on advanced. The settings which are coming here right now, just leave them as it is, don't change them. Click on add web reference, and we'll be requiring a URL. So URL for this enterprise WSDL. So the URL is C drive users desktop. I just paste it slash enterprise. I'll just copy this enterprise.wsdl and click on next. So it will be start searching the services which has been mentioned within this enterprise.wsdl. It may take some time searching the services, so have patience. So once we're done, you see we have found a SF4 service description, and one service has been found, and you can look at the methods as well. We have couple of methods like convert leads, create, delete, describe all tabs, describe app menus, and so on. So these are the couple of settings we have. So what we'll be doing, we'll be giving a name here. I will be giving us web reference name, and this could be anything. You can give it SFDC as well. So I give it SFDC and click on add reference. So it will take some time, and within reference we will have a service reference added, and that service reference will be representing to the Salesforce SOAP services. So if we want to have a look, we can click on view in object browser, and in object browser we can we can have a look of all these settings like capture lead SFDC. So we have account object, then we have lead object. So all the objects and even the standard objects or the custom objects will be available within our it will be linked with our application. Now the next step is we'll be going to create a new web page. So I create a new web form, and either a web form or you can click on new item as well. It's a web form and the extension is ASPX. I give a name as homepage.aspx. We add this. So I'll switch it to design, and within design I'm going to capture leads first name, last name, phone, email and company. So with the help of a toolbox, we'll be adding a table first of all, and within that table we'll be going to add design this form. So I drag and drop this table, and in this table I will delete this column, delete column, and also I'm going to make it a small, decrease the column width, and here first I add first name, or we can do like this as well. I just select this, right click and modify merge cell, and I'll simple mention here enter new lead details. Then here we have first name, last name, I want to have phone number, I want to capture email and also company. And then we'll insert the I will add the text fields to capture the data. So text field, text box for phone number, then for email and for company. And finally I want to add a button. So I select these two cells, modify merge cell, and here I want to add a button. So I drag and drop a button here, and we simply labeled it as, I simply rename it as, by going into properties, submit. So the form has been designed. Now we need to start writing the code. So we need to start integrating it, and for integration we need to first of all connect the text box. We need to capture the text input from the user within the text box, and while clicking on the button the data gets submitted into into lead object. So I click on submit, it will take us to the coding part, and first of all I include the library. So I include the library, it would be using capture lead.sfdc, and public home page. So before loading page I would like to create couple of variables. So I'll create a variables private string username, private, or we can copy paste username is equal to, we need to provide username, then we need to password and security token. So this is username, password, token, and I'll just set this as constant string token ID. This is token, and we'll be requiring the username, password and token. So first of all let's capture the username. So my username is, I will go to setup. Just in case if you have forgot the username, you can click on setup, manage users, and I will be providing my username. So my username is this one. I copy this username and paste it here. I have mentioned my password, and I would be requiring security token. So click on setup, because we need to reset the security token. So click on my settings, personal, reset my security token, reset security token, and it will send a security token on my mail, on my registered mail. So I have already received the security token. So I just copy paste the security token from there and paste it within double quotes. So that's the security token. Once we have all the details, so the next I would like to capture the session ID. So I create a new variable called public string underscore session ID. Couple of variables will be requiring. So private date time underscore next login time, private login result underscore login result, private S4 service. So S4 service is the service which will be receiving while registering the services. So S4 services underscore S4 ref is equal to new Salesforce new S4 service, new S4 service. Now I would like to create two functions, and those two functions will help me to verify whether the connection has been established or not. So I create a function called is connected, function call is connected, and within this is connected I created a bool. Now I'm getting an error message because its return type is bool, so it should return a value. So I'll write bln result is equal to false, and we'll be returning the value. So first of all I just verify if not string dot is null or empty underscore session id and underscore session id not equal to null. So what it will do, it will verify the current login time. So if date time dot now greater than underscore next login time, then it will set bln result is set as false, else bln result is set as true. So this is simple if condition. So we have multiple if, and for this else bln result is equal to false, and here we return bln result. So whatever is the bln result, whether it is true or false, it will return either true or either false. So expected, we will be expecting semicolon. So we have 1 2 brackets. So not equal to null, it would be and actually, and at the rate session id equal to null. So see, error has been removed now. Now next I would like to get the current session info. So private void get session info. So it's a separate function, and this function will return us the current session info. So underscore login result is equal to new login result. Then I write system dot net dot service point manager dot security protocol is equal to security protocol SEC. Service point manager dot security protocol is equal to security protocol type dot. So basically there is one error coming if we do not mention this line, the text which I'm going to mention. If we do not mention this, this will be throwing an error message for TLS error. So I'll just mention this particular line and it won't throw error for the TLS error, and it's showing an error message security protocol type error is coming. So I just resolve it and using system.net. So I just mentioned here using system.net, and this error has been resolved now using TSL protocol type. So whether because we have TLS, so it will be using either TLS 1, 1.2, 1.1, or the updated one. So after this, we mention underscore login result is equal to underscore sfforce ref dot login, and it will be login using username comma password plus token. Because as all of you know that while we are trying to extract the data out of Salesforce, we always mention password and token together. Password and token is single, it's a single field, is a single value. So we mention here token, and now uh, we would be getting the session ID. So underscore session ID, we want to get the current session ID. So underscore session ID is equal to underscore login result dot session ID. So current session ID, and then we have session underscore session ID. We are going to track it. So underscore session ID is equal to underscore login result dot session ID. So I'll just copy this, paste. I want session ID, I want URL, and the next logon time. So I want server URL, and login result dot server URL, and I would be requiring the next logon time as well, that when the user has logged in next time. So next login time is equal to login result dot, or yeah, we'll be logging right now. So date time dot now. So we have the session info. Now we are going to implement the actual thing, that when the user clicked on submit button, the data gets stored. So on button click, first of all, I just wanted to make sure that the connection has been established or not. So I just write if is connected. If not is connected, then it won't allow us to move next. And then if it is connected, then we'll be getting the session info. We'll be calling this session info function. Now we have sfforce that URL is equal to underscore login result dot server URL. And if you want to get the server URL, we can use response.write methodology to make sure that what is the current URL. What is the current URL? It will display the current URL to us. And also we can get the header value. So underscore session ref underscore sfforce ref dot session header value is equal to new session header, and underscore sfforce ref dot session header value dot session ID is equal to underscore login result dot session ID. So whatever session ID stored over here, that would whatever session ID that would be mentioned, that would be stored into session header value dot session ID. Then I created a new, see, as you can see here, because lead is an object, but because we have integrated successfully, so we are getting lead object. So I say I create a new instance for lead L1 is equal to new lead, and I'm going to store lead L1 dot first name is equal to, so now we are going to refer, this is text box 1, this is text box 2, so you can see text box 1, last name is text box 2, phone number is text box 3, email is text box 4, and company is text box 5. So I just write L1 dot first name is equal to text box 1 dot text. Then L1 dot last name is equal to text box 2 dot text. Then we have phone number, so L1 dot mobile or L1 dot phone is equal to text box 3 dot text. Then we have email, so I mentioned L1 dot email is equal to text box text box 4 dot text, and finally we have company name, so L1 dot company is equal to text box 5 dot text. Then once we have bind the fields along with the text fields, so I create here save result, because I would like to find out whether the record gets successfully created or not. So underscore sfforce dot create, and it will create new object, new s object. It will create new s object, and it will store L1 into it. So by using the values from by getting the values from L1, the data gets stored. It will create a new object. Then I just create here that if create if create if create result 0 dot success, then I want to display a message. So I create a new string ID because I want to get the ID for that. String ID is equal to create result of 0 dot ID. So it will return the ID to us. The current record, the record which we have inserted, it will return the ID of that record. Then I simply type a message response dot write. If you want to show the ID, we can display the ID break. It would be a self closing, and then ID plus ID. In same manner, I write response dot redirect. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this, paste it, response dot redirect, and I want to show a message. So I simply display a message that lead inserted successfully, and else if there is any error, if it is not succeeded, so we want to show error message as well. So else response dot write, and else, and we want to get the message, error message, else result is equal to create result 0 dot errors 0 dot message, and we want to display that error message, that it's error plus result. Fine. So that's all. Now what we'll be doing I will be saving this and make sure that everything is fine. So I say build. It will start building the project, and the project will get built. See, there is no error, 1 succeeded, 0 failed. And one more thing I will be doing, I right click on the home page and say set as start page, and then click on Google Chrome. So basically we press F5, so it will launch the page. It will launch a new web page, and you see the new page is going to be launched on our local host. Later on we can deploy this on our domain as well. Right. As you can see here, might be possible you will be getting this kind of issue. It's a journal issue which usually people used to face, and I'm 100% sure you also might be facing these kind of issues if you are integrating. So how to solve this issue? The error is says unable to generate a temporary class result 1, cannot convert capture lead SFDC, and so the error number is CS0030, and this error is if we look at the details, it says if we are unable to generate the file, we are unable to generate a temporary class. How to solve this issue? So to solve this issue, first of all, I close it, and I'm using Notepad++ for that, and I refer a file, and that file is it's a reference file in my project, and the project name is capture lead. So I'll look for my documents, Visual Studio 12 projects, capture lead, web references, SFDC, and here there is a file called reference.cs. So we open this reference.cs, and in this reference.cs we have to search for two double brackets, two continuous brackets. So I'll just search for two continuous brackets, and we'll find that. And what we do it, we remove one of them. We will left with only one single bracket. Find next. So you will be finding two places where you will be finding two double brackets. So do one thing, simply change them into one single bracket. So now we don't have any further text for it, and I will save it. So once we saved it, this will get updated into here itself, and we'll save it again. And if you want, you can rebuild it, or simply click on Google Chrome. So as you can see here, the form has been loaded successfully, and now it is asking for the details. So I just provide my details like first name David Ma, phone number, email david.ma@gmail.com, company name BISP, and I click on submit. And this process may take some time because it will be interacting with the by using the code, it will interact with the application. And you see I got an I got a message, lead inserted successfully, and this is the ID of the record, the new record which has been generated just now. So it is 00Q. If you want to cross verify that, let's go back to our app, click on leads, and first of all I'll check whether record has been inserted or not. So I click on all open leads, go, and we'll check the record has been inserted or not. So I'll just cancel this, and it's David Ma. So you see the record has been inserted, BISP David.ma. This record is inserted just now. When we open it, we look at the ID. So just check the ID, it's 00Q6F, and if we look at the ID is same. WHUAI, it's WH, it's user, UAI is user interface. So basically this has been generated through integration. So that's why that UII has been added. So like this, we have integrated Salesforce with .NET, and the record has been inserted successfully. In same manner, in continuation of that, in continuation, we can search the record, we can update the record and modify the record. So basically we can perform all the DML operations by integrating Salesforce with .NET by using SOAP API. So we will coming up with some next more videos on integration by using SOAP APIs with Salesforce with .NET. So that's all in this video. So if you have any queries, you can write to us on www.bsptrainings.com. You can subscribe our YouTube channel for more videos on Salesforce. Keep watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.